Ramble.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode. Lucy Gray, I love you!
Oh, my God.
Hunger Games, the musical.
No.
Hunger Games, the musical.
Not a musical, Zach. Stop it.
Basically is.
What?
It kind of is.
Kind of is.
Both of you shush.
Welcome to Guilty Pleasures, Lucy Gray.
Lucy Gray.
Lucy Gray.
My name is
Lucy.
Lucy Gray, and I love you.
My name's Lucy Gray, and I'm a little quirky girl.
I'm a little quirky girl.
I'm singing.
I'm
I
singing.
sang.
I'm gonna sing a little ballad of songbirds and snakes.
I live in the country.
I live in the country.
When did we get Southern accents in District 12? I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't matter.
I'm a traveler.
It sure don't matter. I got a box and
I
a
travel every day.
and a guitar and a dream.
And a dream.
We cannot stop talking about this accent.
I will never. We're talking about the latest in the Hunger Games franchise,
Yes.
the prequel, The Ballad of
Songbirds and
Songbirds,
snakes.
snakes.
It's a mouthful.
It is a pretty bad title.
Yeah, it's long.
Look, we're a little overdue
Just a bit,
for this episode. We're a little late.
but still full of passion.
We're
Yes.
we're full.
We're full.
Yeah, we saw this movie about a week ago.
Oh,
For
no.
me, it
We
was
saw
opening
it.
night.
We saw this a month
while
ago.
We saw it a month ago. We saw this movie a month ago, and it still haunts my dreams.
Whoa.
I just want to just come out and say that this movie hurt my feelings, and this is probably the closest to the actual tone of the books
There we go.
that they've done.
High praise.
Like truly fantastic film.
We're missing a Becky today. She's
Yeah.
been our
Becky.
Hunger Games companion,
And book club.
book club
member.
buddy. You guys all read the books, the three of you
We
together,
three started a book club without you.
which is fine, and my feelings
Which is
aren't hurt.
fine because we all love the Hunger Games books, and we decided to read it and converse. And she should have been here, but she's busy with a baby.
Her parents are in town, and we accidentally scheduled this without giving her a heads up.
But
and,
she's here in spirit.
and also, I'm leaving tomorrow, so oops.
Whoops.
The Hunger Games.
Goddamn.
Should we just get into it? Do
I
you want
think
to talk
you can
about
do-
it
yeah.
emotionally?
Give us
If
a
you
log
want to
line.
go do the log line, and then we can talk about it emotionally. You remember the?
Hell yeah. This is a prequel. Coriolanus Snow.
Coriolanus.
He puts the anus in Coriolanus. That's President Snow to you, Buster. You remember Donald Sutherland from the Hunger Games, the old guy? Well, guess what? He's young and he's hot now.
Hot as hell.
And this is the first ever Hunger. No,
Nope,
it's
it's the
not.
10th.
It's the 10th ever Hunger Games. We're going back in time. It's the future, but it's also the 1950s. And we get to see Lucy Gray, a little songbird. And this is the first time they changed something.
This is the first time where the
Evolution of the Hunger Games.
evolution of the Hunger Games is
And
about to
that-
get canceled. If it doesn't do well, if it doesn't get enough ratings, and this is the first time they don't win a prize, but they win. I forget what it was.
You
Well,
get
basically-
mentors this one. This is the first time you have mentors. It's the first time that they're going to televise it, and they're changing the rules this time.
Remember Haymitch? Remember when Haymitch was like helping Katniss? Well, this is the first time they ever did that.
Yeah.
Now Coriolanus Snow, he's a bit of a bad boy.
Yeah,
But he wants to prove himself. He wants to be the top of the class. But they changed the rules, and so they say he's trying to pretend that he belongs with the aristocrats, but he's actually poor. So he doesn't want to. Ew. We don't
He's
like
so
poor
poor.
people. And they say, if you want to prove yourself, well, you got to turn this little songbird into a
The
champion.
Mhm.
This is Hunger Game.
Okay, can I just say?
Say
I'm
it.
just going to say it.
Say it.
I read the book
You read it.
on Kindle. I didn't realize how long it was. Apparently,
very
this
long.
book is extremely long compared
It's
to
a
the other
thick
Hunger
boy.
Games books. There was also a choice to turn this movie into two parts, which the director said, fuck no.
They gave them the choice to do that?
Yes, and he said no because everyone was fucking furious that he turned Mockingjay into two. Everyone was pissed.
Yeah, everybody was
They had
losing
to
their mind.
wait a year. Everyone was kind of like, man, we know how it ends. Kind of reminds us of the first one. Did we already see this
Well,
one?
let me
Is
tell
it-
you, he made a mistake this
No,
time.
I couldn't disagree more.
Oh,
Given the
couldn't-
choice.
I couldn't agree with me more.
Of course you wouldn't, you Leo. But as someone who read the book, not realizing how long it was, I was so sad when it was over because I couldn't believe
There's more stuff that
they,
could have been.
They ended it, and I wanted more, which is the sign of a really good book, of a really good series to come.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. Yeah, I think they're writing more.
What?
Really?
Aren't they?
No.
I'm pretty sure.
They have to beg her.
No. About President Snow. Aren't they doing more of him? Okay. Might just be me dreaming. But when I was thinking about them making this into a movie, I got really worried. I was like, there is no fucking way you can fit everything that happened in the book into the movie. And of course, with a movie this long and a book that long, you're still going to get stuff that dribbles off, that falls down the side. But as someone who was obsessed with the book, I think he did a incredible job of
This is
getting
Francis
it.
Lawrence?
Yes, all of it into one movie. And given the choice, I would have rather had one super long movie like this than two.
Because the other half would have been pretty boring.
Yeah.
But
As opposed to just having an hour of the movie that was pretty boring.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It would have just
Making
been that for 3 hours.
Oh, see, I couldn't agree less. I loved that there was a 3-part. It was.
So I like the
so
third
well.
part. I like the third part, but I liked it in the same sense as like Oppenheimer, where the third, where the act 3 of the movie was a courtroom drama, and you're just like, okay, this is cool if you look at it as an epilogue rather than like this is another part of the movie. It's just like, oh, this is just a nice like wind down. We already reached our peak, and we're just coming down from it. But based off of like the book to screen type of stuff, I will say that this adaptation of the book was like fine in my personal opinion.
Wow.
But the overall tone, like I said earlier, from the previous books, that like if he came in with this energy into the other films, for one, they wouldn't have gotten a PG-13 rating. They probably would have been rated R for sure. But the actual pain and like stress that I felt while watching this movie is how I felt while reading the first 3 books.
It's not joyful. Like
But
it's very
very grim.
You get to learn about Panem more, which I loved. You get to learn about obviously President Snow's backstory. You get to see how he actually came from poverty, how he was faking it. His parents died in the war. Tigress is actually his cousin, played by Hunter Schafer, was
Who
incredible.
is Tigress? Everyone was like, oh, it's Tigress.
Tigress is later a costumer and like kind of a rebel in the Hunger Games. President Snow turned her into a tiger, like tiger face with plastic surgery and stuff. Like tortured her.
Is she
Hunger
in the
Games
movie?
franchise
Or does she
loves
just,
little
like, kinda
monster
pop in?
people.
Whoa. Both of you asked a full question at me at the same time. What?
Is she in the original movies, or does she just kind of pop in?
She's in the original movies, but not Hunter Schafer.
Yeah, I know. She's just,
Tigress is in the Mockingjay.
yeah, you just kind of like see her being a tiger.
But
face
she's
person.
bigger in the books.
Yeah.
What I said is Suzanne Collins loves little monster people.
Oh yeah.
She loves people that are monsters that are people.
Yeah.
She has, in the books, there were like the wolves with the eyes, souls.
The dogs with the faces.
And then
of the
apparently in this-
fallen victors.
In this book, too, there's something with like, Becky was telling me that people come back to life, or they're like zombie people or monster people. They're monsters. Some sort of monster people
I guess so.
in the games.
I
No,
don't
not
remember
in the
that
movie.
part.
No, in the book.
It's not a movie.
In the book.
I don't remember that either.
I don't
Monster
remember.
people. Anyway, Tigress is a tiger lady. That's cool.
So you get to see more of Panem. You get to see more of his humble beginnings about how he used to be rich, but because of the war, now they're
you
poor.
get to see why it's called the Hunger Games, which is very cool.
They
Everybody
literally have to eat people in the street because they're starving.
Everybody's going hungry.
And you get to see like the academy, like why in District 1, why in the capital are these children so separate and distant from the reality of the world? Like, how did their upbringing at this school, where they literally see people as like objects and toys, affect when we see them, which is like 100 years later or 80 years later, I guess, because President Snow is still alive. But I think they did such a good job of giving us enough of the world that we didn't get to see in the other movies, and then adding tone, story, depth to like the stakes. Seeing the Hunger Game, the 10th ever Hunger Game, compared to the Hunger Games we come to know, which are these like grand scale, like most cracked out
This
Apple
was-
Store device
And
stuff.
I love the whole like vibe of it just being like a telethon.
Yes.
Because that's how little they care about these people.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, or these children. I'm sorry, not people. Let's like put them in zoos. Let's just kind of like parade them around and like see if they have a soul in actuality, rather than like let's just you know.
This whole movie is about how to turn the Hunger Games into sport.
Yeah.
So before people are like, this is just cruel and evil and like we don't really fuck with this.
Yeah.
And then it shows how President Snow is responsible for being the one of giving them the ideas of
Yeah.
expanding the games to be like betting, to get the audience involved, to require
it's-
every district to watch.
And it's actually like a complex want for him where he was just like, I'm going to do all of this stuff because I want to provide for my family and like get us out of the slums. But actually I am progressing something that the world wanted to be done with.
That he's showing them their own evil in a way.
Yeah.
I want to tell you that I think this is by far the best directed in the Hunger Games franchise.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Without a
Without a
shadow of a
question.
doubt. And Francis Lawrence in this movie, he trades the scope and scale of the Hunger Games, of the battle, for intimacy. And that makes everything more terrifying, more vibrant,
God.
more immediate.
Yeah.
There's a huge use of wide angle lenses throughout this
Oh my
entire
God,
movie.
almost too much.
Yeah, too much. And so I mean, we'll talk about like the Hunger Games later, which is it is close and terrifying, and you are in the Colosseum with them, and the use of wide angle there, it just like it's scary.
Yeah.
But
And-
even just random shots, you'll see like Tom Blythe, who, oh boy,
Oh.
his like arm is in the foreground and it's fucking
Huge.
and then his face is tiny in the back. This movie is like, it must have been shot exclusively on 14 to 23 millimeter lenses.
Yeah,
it
it's-
is wide, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So good.
I mean, you touched on it. Can we just start with Tom? We just go down.
We got our 2 stars, Miss Rachel Ziegler and Mr. Tom Blythe.
I didn't know that I could like a man so posh and preppy and proper, and also just fucking shaved down to the bone, fucking blonde little military boy. Like, this showed me my spectrum of like, no wonder I am so bisexual. I love me a femininity. I love me a masculinity.
Oh, that's fair.
I just wanted to eat him up.
Has he? Where is he from? Has
He's
he been?
relatively nobody. This
Yeah.
was like
Excellent.
his huge. This was his big breakthrough.
Yeah.
He
And
was
they
a
put the
relatively
whole movie on his back. I thought it was going to be Lucy Gray's story.
Yeah.
No, this is
No, he did it.
This is Anus's story.
This is crazy that he's it's hilarious. This is crazy that he just fully earned that role. Where it's just like, if you come in to like an audition room and people are like, I don't know who the fuck you are, they're not gonna give you a franchise, a franchise, make you a franchise player. And for him to impress in that level or on that
We're
level,
going to put a franchise on your shoulders.
and like just let you run with it. And then he fucking knocks it out of the park, doesn't cave to pressure at all, really like envelops the role
and
as it
plays
is.
evil and innocent really
Yeah.
well.
Because like evil and innocent extremely well. Because the all of this was earned, and I'm sure it's like a testament to the script and the source material and all of that stuff. But his turn is so earned. His turn is his heel turn is just like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Why I was like, you're wondering, why is he President Snow? Why is he so like dark and distant in the future? And then you see where he cracked, and like it's literally just him losing a love.
Yeah.
You know, and then just being like,
And
okay,
his future, like
Yeah.
some of the responses I've heard about the movie is that it felt rushed towards the end. Like, I could understand him falling into this position of becoming this mentor. He gets put with the quote like worst victor or Hunger Games participant.
Tribute?
Thank you, tribute. He gets put with the worst tribute. He does the best with what he can. He's trying to win it for her and himself. And then all of a sudden, Act 3 comes along, and I've heard that it felt like rushed for people. But I think what we have to
think they're
see it
wrong.
as, I think it felt justified.
Yeah.
Like, the world was so fucked up.
I will fight you, but I'm not ready to yet.
Okay.
all right.
Go
Are
on.
you going
Yeah.
to this podcast or
Yes.
you just
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
You were just.
Because like.
The stakes were so high.
I'll write you.
Yeah.
I'll
The world-
fight you, but I need to work out first because
Okay.
you'll beat my ass.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
I'm stretching, bitch.
No, I just don't want to start there. Tom Blythe. Okay, so you mentioned it, and this is important. So we have the different looks of
Yeah.
Tom. We
Yeah.
have him with like the long Slytherin hair. He's wearing his
Academy best.
Academy best. He's kind of got like skirts. It's very flowy.
Yeah.
Tell me about his looks like there.
Oh my God, iconic. The costuming. Of course, though, you had to imagine like the capital pre really like French debonair, aristocratic costuming. Like this
God,
was the beginning.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. It's that new year. We always get obsessed with how to change ourselves, right? Instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. I just want you to take a moment, you're listening to this, be like, hey, I'm awesome. What can I do more of? So maybe you finally organize one part of your space. Way to go. I have not done that. You want to tackle another. Maybe you're taking your supplements every morning. Woo! You want to actually eat some breakfast too. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can make changes that really stick. Therapy is so important to help you just get in touch with your brain. It's like having a bounce board for your own thoughts. It's another person who is trained to help you be the happiest, best version of yourself possible. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/guiltypleasures today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/guiltypleasures.
I mean, I hope we do in my pleasures at the end of this, because the only thing that is really like dusting this off is what, will probably all of our pleasures at the end of this. But
You just want to say it? Poor Things?
yeah.
Poor Things. Go see
Poor
Poor
Things.
Things.
God,
That movie
damn it.
fucking
Yeah.
rips.
Oh my fucking God. Anyway,
agree.
yeah. But
Probably gonna go see it tonight.
yeah, I'll probably,
Again?
I'll probably rewatch that movie 7 times.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, he looked fantastic, and I
wanted every outfit he wore.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah,
And then I was like, Zach, could you pull it off? And I said, yeah, Zach, you can.
Yeah, I think that
I support your trying journey.
we're as men in general are moving towards a more like skirted look. Like I'm already seeing like a lot of like flowy ribbed pants.
Yep.
With like the
Kilt material.
The kilt material with like a polo, a knitted polo shirt. So like seeing that on screen, it's like giving us more permission to wear
Futurism.
more flowy stuff, because it's
So wait, we got flowy long hair Tom.
Yeah.
And then we got shaved head, military Tom.
And it immediately turned into a military boy.
Yeah.
So who's hotter?
Don't make me choose.
I'm making you choose.
I refuse.
But
Which
you gotta
one?
choose.
Yeah, which version?
There's two Toms sit in a room. They both say, hi, Kelsey.
I choose version 3, which is him with shaved head at the end, but then back in his like
in
capital
his
garb.
clothes.
Yeah. So I choose version 3.
She chose
But
it.
him with
She
those dog
basically
tags
said
in the lake was tapping into my, Southern girly. But then like giving skirt was my LA now version of me. So I don't make me choose.
He was giving a little Dane DeHaan with the shaved head.
Who?
And I don't think that's a
Wow.
good thing.
Wow. Dane DeHaan was in Chronicle, and he was in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
And he also was in Valerian.
Valerian.
Tom, I think, did a really good job.
Oppenheimer.
I was worried also because the book is so much Snow's inner monologue.
Apparently, he's a real dick in the book.
Yeah.
Man, I get it though.
Yeah.
Everything like
Doesn't he like call his sister a sleut?
I mean, that's his cousin, but yeah. But I feel like I was worried about navigating that wishy-washiness of him, where it's like when you watch a character fall in love the way he does with
Yeah.
Lucy.
Wait, do you think that he fell in love with her?
Oh yeah.
Do you guys all think so?
Yeah, I do think he did.
I think so.
I don't think he was faking it.
But
you
the
did?
ending's confusing to me, and I don't know if we want to go there now. But I was confused.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Lucy first because I feel like that will help.
Okay,
Yeah.
Clarify.
Lucy Gray, Rachel Ziegler, who goddamn she needed a win and she deserved one.
He
Yeah.
has the best voice I've ever fucking heard.
She's excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all talked on the record about how great she is in West Side Story, and I love that movie. Making Rachel Ziegler Southern.
Didn't work.
What a choice.
Yeah,
Didn't
that was
work.
a choice.
What a
Didn't work?
The whole time it didn't work.
Oh, because you're from the
Yeah,
South.
and it
You
hurt to
hear
watch.
You hear that voice all the time.
Yeah, and I was
I
like,
was
"Ooh."
absolutely convinced.
Oh,
I was
God.
like, oh, I mean, I'm not saying that she's Southern. I for sure didn't think that she was actually Southern, but for whatever reason, because this is a dystopian future, she just seemed
Yeah.
like a songbird, like a Nashville songbird.
Yeah, yeah,
rather
yeah.
than,
She
like,
is.
six.
She is giving theater girl
Theater girl, there it is.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh my god, I remember like literally in 9th grade, going to my new high school and being in the drama or like trying to apply for the drama club. And then right before thinking about it, I saw them do like this weird parade around the quad, just to like embarrass themselves. And I was like, you know what? I want to be cool.
pass.
I'm a pass. I want to
on
be
that.
seen as a normal person.
When she gets picked for the Hunger Games,
Yeah.
and she starts singing, I was like, yeah, let her go.
Yeah.
Let her fight.
Okay, I'm gonna say something
What
controversial.
But they were
what
like-
fucking choice
they
is
were-
that? And she sings not just a little song. She's like, "This is my moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing
But
for
they
4
were-
minutes."
They were goading
I
her.
didn't
The
really
audience was
love her.
goading her to sing. Like a couple of people were like, "If this is the last time we're gonna see you, can you please sing something?"
I didn't love her performative a little bit.
Interesting. Yeah.
the first note in my notes is, "If this bitch sings one more time."
Yo, like, come on.
I loved
it.
her voice though, so I
She
can't
has an
hate.
incredible voice. She has
I-
the best voice that anyone's ever had.
I
but as a
liked it.
character, I'm like, oh, you're a little bit of a tryhard, aren't
Yeah,
you?
a
Oh, Lucy
little
Gray.
bit.
Oh, Lucy Gray, you a little bit of
Oh,
a tryhard.
my
She
God.
wants the attention. She's giving Leo energy.
We all hate that.
I also knew like they were going to start fighting with pitchforks and chains, and so I was just like, man, this is actually
Les Mis.
really sad. it's like this. I was like, this is sad. If you're gonna go out, there's something about kids dying that I'm just like, all right, well, this is very grim, and so I can only see it as grim. I can't see it as like, oh, this person is being a tryhard, this person is being blah blah blah. I was just like, oh, this is like
It was
really
devastating.
It's a devastating
Yeah.
goodbye.
to
Okay,
watch
fair.
a kid who just wants to be in this school production of Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah, yeah.
One day you're the star of Annie, Go Get Your Gun, and the next it's
Your ex-boyfriend's
kid.
new girlfriend's dad is putting you in the Hunger Games.
okay. I
Crazy.
think that this movie probably hinges on the chemistry, and those two in interviews, they're making me believe in love again.
Yeah.
Well, I've disagreed with every single thing you've said today, and I
wow.
feel bad because I feel like I'm like keeping negative. But I did not in interviews. She is like very committed to her boyfriend, who is
Who
the
is
friend
Sejanus? Did you know that?
I just learned about this. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's
No,
very
but
cute.
they're so complimentary of each
Oh,
other.
they're friends.
They're like so lovely to each other.
Yeah.
They just I don't think they they love each other, but like
Wait,
they
you
love
didn't
each
believe
other.
them?
Yeah,
on-
yeah.
on
I
screen?
am like I think what was the most interesting part of that movie is how I didn't know if either of them loved one another. So I'm interested that you're like, oh, the chemistry was popping.
No,
I thought it was.
I'm thinking of their chemistry. Okay, yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Because there's this one moment where she's in the zoo.
Yes.
He's on the other side. She goes in for the kiss.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, Lucy Gray, you horny?
Yeah.
You horny when you're about to die?
Right, but it was
And
so,
then he
yeah.
pulls away.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this kiss wasn't earned yet.
Because she was trying to use her like poweress. Like, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little.
And then they finally do. So like he pulls away, and I was like, like what? Oh, now this felt like an unwanted
I don't
advance.
remember
and I
that
don't
in the book
feel
either.
good. It's not in the book. Becky told me. And then later they do kiss, and I thought it was kind of yucko.
Well, she pulls away. That's what I thought was fascinating. She pulls away when they kiss.
I don't remember. That.
Okay, well, what they did do really well in this, which I don't know, as someone who had Zach just took his shoes off and kicked his feet
love
up
it.
on the couch.
I love it.
I'm curious if someone who didn't read the book, how you felt. And did you read the book, Rainie?
No,
Okay.
I'm going to, but I will say with the nightmares, I've had a bunch of nightmares since watching, and I've rewatched all of them, so I think I have to take a break and then do the book and then restart the nightmares.
Okay, so I'm curious if you felt this. In the book, let me tell you, after, spoiler alert, Lucy Gray wins the 10th annual Hunger Games.
What?
Yeah.
How'd she do it?
She cheated.
Rat
Yeah.
poison. There's a moment in the book where, she gets taken away to go like do the Victor thing, and they come and they get Snow, and they're like, we're gonna give you guys a moment, like come meet your Victor. And like you're like, finally they're gonna get to be together. That's gonna be their big moment. And he goes to the chambers and they're like, We know you fucking cheated.
Yeah.
You're going away. And they don't get to come back to each other. And when I tell you, I fucking lost my shit in a coffee shop because they build up that moment of all they want is them to just have that moment together of victory, and then he's shipped away to military school and she's disappeared essentially, and then you get another new beginning of the story and they don't see each other again until they're down in that watering hole bar back in District 12, which is such a fun, cute moment when they do finally reunite. But I remember being like, I could not read fast enough. That was really well done to me, where they pulled the rug out underneath you. I've never actually given you what you wanted from them fully, ever.
I think that it was done better in the books, mainly because of the speed of reading. So, because you are reading a little bit slower than you can watch a movie because you're kind of just on a tram line.
You felt it
longer. You feel it way longer. You feel the gap in between them seeing each other again for a little bit longer.
But I feel like that was the essence I felt of chemistry throughout the rest of the book. Was I never got, even when they're under the tree together, I'm like, you never got them alone in their own moment to bone until the very end, which, spoiler alert, we'll get to. But it always felt like they almost got this big romantic moment. And then I thought they did that really well of teasing you out to never giving you what you fully wanted between them.
I want to hit on the supporting cast because one is better than the next is better than the next. The performances in this movie go so hard, and it's almost alarming.
Yeah. I'm pretty devastated and upset that this movie didn't do amazing.
It did
well.
It did very well.
It did. Oh I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
It was a cultural intense moment.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
I guess I missed it completely.
I am still have just my whole TikTok feed.
Really?
Yeah, same.
Oh man, good.
Let me see how much it made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly because I wanted it to reach the same heights as the first couple, and I don't think that it really did.
I think it's 289 million. Would that make sense?
That's worldwide, yeah. Made 145 domestic. It did very well. I mean, yes, it certainly did not reach the heights of the originals.
Yeah. Which, I mean, fair enough. But I think that this movie kind of proves that the world of the Hunger Games is very strong and very rich and can be mined a lot more. Because I don't know, something about, again, kids fighting to the death is very devastating, and building up to that is very devastating and painful and grim. And we didn't have to see Jennifer Lawrence a single time. Not have to see. I do like her a lot. I'm sorry, I worded that wrong. But in order for this franchise to be strong and powerful and very appealing, you don't have to have any real stars attached to it because the world is so strong.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's totally could be anything we want it to be. We really get the ground zero. People can't help but compare Lucy Gray and Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
So much.
And I think that's why they went with a Southern accent, because that really makes them different. It really fucking makes them different.
There.
And it also this whole idea that I am just a full-on songbird and you just kind of play one is also kind of a cool comparison.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't strong in the physical sense. She didn't have that grit against it. She was very bright-eyed, optimistic, bushy-tailed compared, but knew the harshness of the world, which I think both of them had differences. Almost like Lucy Gray was born into the harshness of the world, and Jennifer Lawrence had this nihilistic optimism about her that straightens her real quick out.
Katniss was a fighter who was forced to perform, and Lucy Gray was a performer who was forced to fight.
There you go.
That was on my Twitter.
Best.
Yeah.
That was a fan account on my Twitter said it. I've gotten a lot of stan Twitter. Jason Schwartzman, Peter Dinklage, Viola Davis. The three of them are having the time of their lives, and we need to just each of them give them their own moment.
Let's start off with Viola Davis.
Please.
As soon as Viola Davis in anything, is on screen, you are captivated immediately.
Holding your breath.
And you're holding your breath and you're like, what the fuck is she gonna do? She's gonna do some fucking
She
crazy
looked like
shit.
she was going to kill someone at any moment.
It looked like she was going to kill and murder an entire class of rich pieces of shit children.
Yes.
She had like a glassy eye, weird eccentric hair, fun clothes.
And it didn't even feel like a glassy eye because I think it was just like a body mod of her just wanting a different colored eye. She wanted to have a chromio something. What is it?
Have you ever seen the meme? Oh, it's not even a meme. It's just a moment of her death staring me and Keith on a red carpet.
No.
It was, for whatever reason, Keith and I got hired by Twitter to do the red carpet for the first Suicide Squad movie.
Hilarious.
And so we were flown to New York, and it was the official premiere, and we were doing a Twitter live stream, and we had the cast all come to us. So, I mean, I interviewed Margot Robbie and Will Smith and Viola Davis and whoever else the fuck was in that movie. And now Keith doesn't know who any celebrities are.
Oh, God.
He cannot remember for the life of him.
Oh,
like,
boy.
other than Will Smith, he didn't know who anyone was.
Wow.
So now my job is to know everyone's name. But I also, unfortunately, there's a lot of characters in Suicide Squad, and I couldn't remember who was what. And so I had to just be like, so we're here with introduce yourself. And not to Viola, I know who she was, of course.
God. I was
But
about to
we were goofs, and I could just tell, like, there's a photo of her and she's staring at us, and it's just like, oh, I am tired
Why
of
is
whatever
that not
white boy bullshit.
framed? I would like to see it.
It's really, I'll pull it up by the end of this. Don't you worry.
The book made this character so maniacally confusing, and I honestly, it was the character I understood the least because I didn't get why she was so mean, why she was so out to get people, what made her so evil. And I feel like Viola fucking brought it. She understood the assignment. She had fun with it, almost to the point where like she was the craziest character in this film. It was almost like she was too kooky. She was the future of what Capitol people became. She was ahead of her time.
Yeah.
But the commanding presence she gives in that authoritative position, the same way she gives in How to Get Away with Murder, where she's the professor and the teacher, I just believe it.
Mm-hmm.
She's just having a blast and is so, like, she's campy without being campy.
Mm-hmm.
She's campy but grounded, which shouldn't work.
Exist.
And she's just terrifying. And I loved every moment of her.
Yeah, when I was watching, I was like, okay, she's next to the hottest man I've ever seen in my life, and I'm like, only want to watch her.
You can't take your eyes off of her.
And second half, my main complaint, not enough Viola. I actively thought that in the second half. I was like, she needs to come back here because she's the best part of the movie, I think.
I would watch her origin story.
Yeah.
Honestly, what the fuck happened to her?
Yeah, well, she kind of is like the Snow of this, like Snow is to the Hunger Games what she is to the Ballad.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage might be one of the top 5 finest living actors. The amount of pain and pathos on his face. His face is so interesting to look at. And like they give him dialogue that isn't really that good, and he still knocks it out of the park.
Yeah.
And he's just drinking out of this little vial. He's talking about like the pain of
You think he's sort of a drunk like he is from
from Game of Thrones.
Thank you.
But instead of
But
being
he's-
like a playboy, he's like, I need to do this terrible thing. And his character held the burden of the games on his face.
the whole time.
He knows that this is a horrible, horrific thing that is necessary for keeping the world in order. At least that's how his character views it. And you see the toll that it takes on him.
The secret that the whole world thinks he's responsible for it. The whole world believes it was his idea, and only he knows that it was actually Snow's father that implemented it.
Le gasp.
Yeah, like you find that out, and exactly what you said, you read it on his face, because he's another character where you're like, why is he so horrible? Why is he so mean to him? Like, why can't he just why is he punishing this kid who isn't necessarily evil yet? But then the ultimate demise that he meets in the end is that
so he kind of is responsible because
he kind of is.
He created Snow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've always wondered and would love to see somebody getting addicted to morphling on screen, or like someone addicted to morphling on screen, and seeing him be that.
What is morphling?
Very sad. That is a drug.
vial.
It's the little vial he was drinking.
The Hunger
It's
Games thing?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
a drug that it's like
heroin.
morphine or
Very
heroin.
cool.
And who's the other person you said?
If you can't have Stanley Tucci, the next best thing is
Yeah,
Jason
Jason
Schwartzman.
Yeah.
Guys, this is the year of Schwartzman.
Yeah,
What
famously
else?
the spot in Across the Spider-Verse.
And giving, I think, the performance of his career
Yeah.
in Asteroid City.
Oh,
yeah.
Rainie
wow.
didn't know what I was saying.
No,
She
I
just
thought you were
agreed.
going to say the performance of his career in the ballad because I thought he stole the show as well.
He's so
was great.
good.
He's so
and
funny.
he's also incredible in the Scott Pilgrim animated series.
Yeah.
Jason Schwartzman has been a favorite actor of mine for a long time, and getting to see him shine in so
Yeah.
many different directions this
Yeah.
year has just been a joy. Asteroid City, by the way, Variety just named it one of the worst movies of the year,
Very
which
weird.
is absolutely insane because
That's
I would
mean.
say it might be the best movie of the year.
Wow.
Good. Poor
Eh.
things.
It is a beautiful, fascinating movie that is about why Wes Anderson makes Wes Anderson movies. I couldn't love it more. His performance is so heartbreaking in that.
Yeah.
And then here you have him doing the exact opposite. He is goofy. He is zany. He is the comedic relief. I honestly,
It.
I might like him more than Tucci.
Wow.
I agree.
Whoa.
in this performance versus Tucci's performance in the
Oh,
Hunger
in
Games,
this one,
100%.
yeah.
What?
That's
He
fair.
was so funny.
He was very funny.
You didn't
very-
really.
He
didn't
was
play
the,
you?
but it's because of the film surrounding. He is
Yeah.
literally the only comedic relief.
Yeah.
Like he is the only relief of the movie. Where you're
There's a
just
part where the Hunger Games is going long, and he's like, "Hi, I have a reservation for
Yes.
Flickerman. We are gonna have to move that back. My job's going a little late this evening."
yeah, and this is right after a child dies.
Yeah.
It's
He's like
so-
2 seats in a high chair or whatever.
Yeah. It doesn't give a fuck.
But I think like that's a moment of casting genius that I go, why have I not seen him and Stanley Tucci play father and son in something?
Yeah.
Because you just go, of fucking course that's him as a younger,
it
like
to me,
in his
Tucci.
family member. Of course the lineage makes complete sense. And that to me was a casting moment that I really enjoyed and believed. And again, would watch his origin story of just like, how the fuck did this guy become the weatherman obsessed with fame turned game host?
Because I
Yeah.
think it's because of how low rent the Hunger Games are as a televised
Right.
event that they're just like, let's just pull the weatherman, not even the anchorman
Yeah.
of the
He's
news.
busy
let's
that
just,
night.
Let's just do like somebody else to host this telethon,
Yeah.
which is very reminiscent of like telethons in general. It's just like it was never like the A-list actor hosting them. It was always like literally
The second tier late night guy.
yeah, the local weatherman.
Yeah.
What
who's
I love
talking.
about his performance too is that he is that while playing himself as I am the most famous, hottest person who's
Yeah.
ever lived.
Yeah.
And then anytime anyone treats him as anything otherwise, he's very taken aback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
oh,
believe
you don't
you've done
understand
this.
that I'm Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And you guys, you just don't know that. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He has this trick where he flips a coin into the air and then it doesn't land until the end of the telecast. I just, I would say I want more Jason Schwartzman, but we've been blessed this year with plenty
Yeah,
of
we
them.
have. We've gotten a lot of them.
The year the Schwartz.
Yeah.
You know, he's the drummer of the band that does the OC theme song.
What?
What?
He's
That
the-
is so random.
He's the drummer of Phantom Planet.
What?
Wow.
That is a fun fact.
That's very cool.
Why did you save that for the end?
Well, that's just that one's on the house.
That one
I
was
love
on
that.
the house, baby.
I love that he's a professional drummer.
This more than any other Hunger Games, the violence really got me.
It
Oh,
hurts.
she was
Yeah.
boiling.
And
This
like
is, yeah, I was gonna say this is where it started to get like a little grim and
too
like,
much.
painful for me.
I think it was something in the way that it was direct. Okay, actually, here's what it is.
Yeah.
So I love me a violent movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were just hard stopping.
I love
I
me.
love me.
I love me.
Yeah.
No, I love me a violent movie, and like, you know, I love Battle Royale. And
Yeah.
honestly, a complaint that I imagine you and I shared
Yeah.
is that the original Hunger Games was, you know, clearly aping something from Battle Royale, but then not delivering
On
the
the
violence,
violence
and,
of it.
and,
Yeah.
and
The-
what it is, which is a bunch of kids get thrown into a place and have a bunch of tools and got to kill each other. Like, it's campy, it's
Yeah.
built to be gory, but there's something about applying the YA sheen
Mm-hmm.
to that then gives
Just
me
take it
this
away.
distance, and it's
'Cause
like
it was-
a desensitization
Yeah.
that feels a little yucky to me.
Yeah, it was damn near like the coloring of the original
Yes.
Hunger Games, where it's just like she's coming up into a bright arena,
Beautiful.
beautiful arena,
Yeah.
and you're just watching. Although I will say, like, it is pretty. The opening of the Hunger Games in the first one is like still one of those moments that really like
Best.
sticks with me, and like as one of like the best in the franchise. But like because it is this serene moment covered in violence, you're like, oh wow, this is like cool juxtaposition. Now it is just a
Dirty.
violent moment, dirty, covered in violence. And you're just like, fuck, you're seeing the reality of this situation like completely.
It's very raw because
Yeah.
in the later Hunger Games, it's a tech wonder world. It's games, it's tricks, it's flips. It's look at
like
this thing. What does that do? This is like, here's a big rock, smash this kid's head in.
Yeah. This is the
But do
Great
you know what
Depression. It is what it is.
But do you know what I mean by the sheen? Like the film stock and the coloring, like the same visual look. And again, I think it was brilliantly directed. I loved the way that the fights were staged and choreographed and shot. But there's just something where I'm like, this is the same movie where I want them to kiss.
Yeah.
And
It was the color too, I think. Like it was weirdly tan. Like it was very sandy.
That's why I would say that the violence felt like raw because of how tan it was.
Which is why when they
honestly.
go to the woods and they get back into this like fantastical YA feeling, it feels like a completely different movie. It feels like a second part added.
The hopeful in me wants to say that this, Trojan horse uses entertainment to teach audiences and kids, right, about the horrors of war and death, etc. The fear in me is that the way that it's shot and the sheen of it all desensitizes viewers. And I don't know that I have an answer there.
Wow.
I don't think it made it glamorous at all. It made everyone wince a bit.
Yeah. It winced. I winced a lot.
In our
for this
theater,
one.
I went and saw it the night before it opened publicly, and everyone in the theater was like, ooh,
Like-
every time something hit.
Seeing his old classmate being strung up, her having to put him down hurt. I already have a thing with swarms, but like the snake scene really fucks me up. I was like, I couldn't even look at the screen for that whole sequence. Yeah, I mean, seeing the sick girl drink.
Oh God!
And then drink the water, the whole rabies, her friend having rabies.
Oh, God, it was.
What the fuck was that? He got bit by a bat.
Got bit by a bat, got rabies.
Why a bat?
In the train.
Yeah, in the train.
Why not a rat?
You don't like the bat
I
of it
just-
all?
Bats are rats with wings, man.
Yeah.
They said he's like, oh, I got bit by a bat. And I'm like, what the fuck scene
Yeah.
did I miss?
And I think that I'm so happy that they took the funniest part of rabies, of being afraid of water, and
That
making
is
it a
insane.
thing.
Maybe one of the best scenes in the franchise is you have one of the dudes bringing all of the dead bodies together, covering them with the flag.
Them jumping back and forth between like the reality of, I guess, America and the reality of the upper class of America being like the only thing we care about is power and not like lives at all, was very stark and scary and disgusting almost.
I mean, I think it goes into such a deeper conversation, but I think Gen Z is also not fans of America. Like, I don't hear any Gen Zers being like, America's the greatest country in the world anymore. They're very much like, I think we had been too powerful, too rich for too long, and it is time to level out. Like, the last time America was really the best, most powerful in the world was like 1960,
Okay.
and then we've all kind of been like,
There is a book called The End of the World is Just the Beginning. And I'm reading through that right now, and it does like exactly what you're talking about is what it starts on, and it's, did I say it's about the deglobalization of the planet?
No.
Yeah, it's about the deglobalization of the planet. And one of the things is that America stopping its show of power and being a global police force is what will then start the deglobalization. So Gen Z being like, we need to stop being this.
It felt like just
might start the end of the world.
Something. It felt something real that like our generations could attach themselves to.
Y'all ready to fight?
Let's do it.
Let's go, Zachary.
I loved this movie. I gleeful, having a blast. I literally turned to Maggie like maybe 20 minutes in. I'm like, yo, I'm having myself a time. I was giggling. I was guffawing. Fully satisfied. I got a meal.
Yeah.
My tummy was full. The taste buds were dancing.
Oh, boy.
I was happy. Movie over.
No.
Just kidding. There's another hour and a half of bullshit.
God, the way I
This-
couldn't disagree fucking
This
more.
movie ends. You get a first
It
act,
doesn't end
a
at
second
all.
act, and a third act. You have a full arc.
Yep.
The Hunger Games are over. Done. Satisfied. What a fun time. And then they went, oh, shit. Oh, he's supposed to be a fascist bad guy, isn't he?
Right. So the film wasn't over.
Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna have to. Do something about that.
I said, thank God.
Yeah,
I looked at my watch and I went, fuck yes.
Yeah,
we
because-
still have an hour
because-
left.
yeah, because-
I
was
wanted
so
to die.
Ready.
I wanted to
You
leave.
probably need to pee and eat.
I-
I was so glad it wasn't over.
I wanted to leave so
Oh my God.
unbelievably badly.
Couldn't-
You cannot give me a 3-act structure and then start another movie.
But it was
a boring movie.
No. No. Those who know, know.
And those who know are apparently stupid.
I loved the way they left us on that cliffhanger of him having to go. And you're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck just happened? Why? Oh my God, we're being.
Pick it up in another movie.
No, because
Yeah.
they did that with Mockingjay and it was fucking awful and everyone
Because
hated
Mockingjay
it.
was one story that they split into two. This was,
No, this is the same story. If you split it up, then the themes are totally different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one book.
well, let me tell you, it's stupidly written.
Okay,
Goddamn.
Tell that to Suzanne.
Yeah,
all right?
I would, but no one's heard from her because she knows what's best, which is write a banger book and then mind your own goddamn business. You hear that,
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling? Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Be more like Suzanne Collins.
Yeah.
Give us a gift and then go away.
He's like, I mean, my thoughts and ideals don't matter, really. I made a book. I'm going to leave it at that.
See, I thought it was so. God, and anyone that says it was too
thought-
slow or boring or whatever, like,
I thought that part was really.
do you not fucking see what happens?
Yeah.
You are seeing this
think-
man become a monster.
Yeah.
Barely. They just decide that he needs to become a monster.
No.
What?
His best friend
Zach.
is too far in it.
I
The love
think
of his
it's-
life is turned against him.
Yeah, I
You're
think
crazy.
Boring,
it is
boring,
somebody
boring.
it is somebody watching all of their ties to humanity go.
Yes.
And it is like
Yeah.
like the scene of him all of the hangings were fucking brutal.
Yeah.
And then having the Mockingjays or the Jabberjays say
Scream
like
out
scream
their
out their
last
name
words.
their last words and all that stuff, that was like very brutal. And the scene where he just finally breaks down after he dies and he sees like how close he held their friendship in the box, or he sees a photograph of the two of them in his box of like remains essentially. That part like hurt. That part
Dog.
fucking got me. I was like, fuck, this
Him
is
screaming,
very
like,
him screaming and like
Really like this, Coria, and then Mom. Oh
yeah.
my God, it fucked me
Oh
up.
God.
And
It's tough. It's like it's honestly it turned into like a fucking war movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
At the end of it, where you're watching someone who is a child deal with brutal loss
Yeah.
over and over and
from a
over.
first-hand account.
And honestly, when it happens with Lucy Gray and it's just like a betrayal, damn near, or a quote unquote betrayal, it is him just being like, fuck it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
You know what it is for me that I think you need to hear, Zachary? It's him. the way you just turned a big smile and sat back in your chair.
Tell
I think
me.
it's
Put me in my place.
a character who was given no other choice.
Yeah.
They said, we're shipping you off. You are going to become essentially your mother, the good guy.
Oh, so it's not fascist's fault.
Correct. You are going to become your mother. You have no choice. We've made the decision for you. Furthermore, by you finding Lucy Gray out here, we've decided this is who you've made. This is your choice. and then to watch him actively fucking claw and scream and fight his way back over to the bad side was for me like an unraveling where I was like, how are they going to get away with this? And I thought they did it so fucking well. And like kudos to Tom for giving us that.
Yeah.
Tell me, let's talk about the ending because I was a little confused.
Tell me what you're confused about.
So it's been again about a month since I've seen it. So let's talk it through. They're out. They're having a little romantic time.
Yeah.
And then
they decide to run away because Tom killed the mayor's daughter with the guns that went missing.
Right. Forgot about this.
That was that I think was his fatal mistake.
Yeah.
I think if he hadn't made that
Shooting
mistake,
a guy?
he would have been. I think it would have been a totally different ending. I think he acted impulsively. And it was a bad call.
He knew he had no choice but to run away with her because she was also the only other witness.
Yeah.
And wasn't there a moment where she realizes that he's killed someone before?
Yeah, when he says, well, 3 people is
so
enough. And she says, what do you mean 3?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, so who was the I was counting. I forgot who
was the boy in the battle in Hunger Games. It was the mayor's daughter, and then it was Sejanus. He essentially sent the Jabberjay back to Viola to...
So they've run away together.
Yeah.
And then there's this moment where Lucy Gray goes, I'm just going to go get some wood for the fire. And then he's like, is this bitch about to...
so what you're missing is when they got to the cabin, that's where the weapons were. That's where they had hid the one piece of evidence. So now that he has that, she is the only thing that could rat him out.
But why did they both in that moment have this switch flip?
She realized
she sees that
he's only now he's free. And then when he said, I killed 3 people, that whole walk is going, who the fuck else is he talking about? Yeah. He killed 3 people. This person lied to me. This isn't who I thought I was.
Yeah.
And now
So do you think that she was going to go rat on him?
I think that after he said that
the 3 people,
she got scared.
I think
she was
got
like
scared
afraid
might have killed him
because she's also like putting 2 and 2 together. The only other person that he could be talking about is Sejanus. Yeah.
Who, by the way, great actor, loved him. He was great. And also, he was in West Side Story too.
Of course.
Yeah, sweetie. So then he runs out to find her. Do you think she planted the snake that bit him?
That is the question, right? Everyone wants to know, did she? So my theory is that it's supposed to be left up for interpretation, right? If she did plant the snake, then she was a lot smarter and more cunning and manipulative than we give her credit for.
Yeah.
If she didn't, then that's the universe's way of giving her the freedom and the chance to go make her own life and for him to be wounded.
I think it's the universe's way of like punishing him as well for like Sejanus and everything like that, and also punishing him eternally for saying that you are I am going to, as nature, create a love loss that will then send you down like a dark path and an eternal torment of not being able to trust anybody.
Because he made the choice when he sent the Jabberjay off.
Yeah.
He had the choice.
I didn't understand why he made that choice.
I will say that
that was
a little uncomfortable.
Again, this was again
like
me feeling
ruining.
like the movie just was like, well, you're bad guy now.
Yeah.
You bad guy now because the movie
But
has
see,
to
No,
end.
when you
I think he
think
was
about
like it was going to get them both killed.
It was going to get him killed. It would have gotten Sejanus killed. Like there are reasons why I could see him doing it for the safety.
He's like they kill people for even knowing
the rebels.
Knowing rebels or knowing people. That's why he shot the girl as well. But he's like, I mean, I'm going to die, so it's either me or you. And I don't know. I forget what I've been watching as of late, where it's been a lot of like it's me or you type of stories that I've been seeing as of late. But I immediately understood that.
Okay, watch out for Garrick.
Yeah.
But
maybe,
something I think worth noting too, that tell me if I'm correct. I think in the book, he purposefully shoots in the direction that Lucy Gray's voice was coming from. Like it was implied that he actually made that active choice to like try and shoot at her.
I interpreted it as he was trying to kill her.
Or maybe it was in the book he doesn't, and in the movie they made the choice to have him. In one of them he does it, and in the other he doesn't shoot towards it. So it leaves it a little bit less evil of like, Was he trying
like
to kill
it's really up in
her?
the air.
Yeah, it's really up in the air.
But even in the movie, it's kind of seen as like he was hallucinating.
with
And
the
he didn't see, because she would have been long gone.
Yeah.
So he definitely
Yeah.
shouldn't be seeing her at all.
Right.
And like also in the book, it's like you just see her footsteps
And you
he's-
hear her voice from the Jabberjays.
Yeah.
But also, I love the ties of like, now after that, you think the Hanging Tree song is about him because that song that Katniss sings later in the Hunger Games, Meet Me by the Hanging Tree, where did string up 3 and it's like the 3 murders now.
Yeah.
So there's like that tie back and then,
That's cool.
yeah.
Y'all ready for some fun facts?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Fun fact.
Only.
Well, I'm going to give you a little Christmas gift, which is that I have to go. And I'm going to leave you in the wonderful warm embrace of Miss Rainie Toll.
Wow.
I love that your Christmas
Why do
gift
you
to us
think that
is you leaving the room.
Yeah, your absence is a gift? That's
Yeah.
not cool.
His presence is a present.
And you'll get to go through all of these fun facts.
Wow.
Bye,
okay.
Zach.
This movie's a pleasure. It's great, except the last hour sucks.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Cut that out, Rainey.
Get out of here.
Yeah. He doesn't
Cut
get
that
it.
out.
Give
Now-
us fun
Now
facts.
it's a gift.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I have to fill Zach's big shoes.
They're tiny.
Oh.
This one I think everybody knows. Rachel sang all of Lucy Gray's songs live on set.
Incredible.
In an interview with Vogue, costume designer Trish Somerville said the corset with Lucy Gray's rainbow dress has Katniss and primrose flowers on it.
Oh, that's a fun little hidden Easter
Wait, say that again? I'm
egg.
sorry.
The costumer put Katniss and Primrose's designs on Lucy Gray's dress.
Oh.
Tom Blythe stated that while he was trying to get into character, he would listen to Lana Del Rey's song Money, Power, Glory.
Shut up. That's fucking hilarious. And I stand.
That's kind of cringy, I feel like.
Oh, I think it's hilarious.
I don't like that lady.
Lana
at all.
will make you fucking feel shit.
No, I hate her. She sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Some other choices for the role. Oh, this is Tigress. Of the role for Tigress is Anna Sophia Robb, Anya Taylor-Joy,
Oh, I see it.
Anya Taylor-Joy
Maya
would've killed that.
Hawke.
Maya Hawke also would have killed that.
Sophie Turner,
Ooh.
Sadie Sink, and Sydney Sweeney.
No, I think Hunter Schafer was easily
Hunter
the best.
Schafer,
out of all
Hunter
of
Schafer
us.
was great, and I think that the list was just long white women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long white women.
You could have done it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
That's it.
that's it.
Now this is time to show where we decide if this movie was a guilty pleasure, a pleasure, or just plain guilty. I feel like now that Zach's gone, we can
Yeah.
all just like sing its praises. Do
Yeah.
you guys have anything guilty to say about it?
I have truly nothing guilty to say about it. The only thing that the thing that it was very upsetting is like looking at the Rotten Tomato score and seeing it as like 64.
What?
What?
It's
Critics
not
or audience?
critics. Audience is pretty
Ew.
high, but the critics is I'm sure they're talking about the third act and it like or the third part and it like kind of dragging on or whatever. Blah 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 blah.
Ew.
Doesn't matter. It was a phenomenal film. It should be rated higher than all the other Hunger Games, in my opinion, because this is a very very cool villain story.
Yeah.
Even though the actual turn of it had nothing to do with the Hunger Games itself,
Which is cool.
it just had to do with love lost.
Yeah. I think if you have not read the books or somehow have not even seen the movies, you don't need to because
Yeah.
this film is just so good. It
Yeah.
stands on its own.
Yeah.
I absolutely give it a full P, full pleasure.
Full pleasure.
And I think the sign of a good movie and book is that I want more. And I think
Yeah.
in my head, I made up that they're making more.
No, she's not writing it right now. But I'm like, do they? I mean, they do need her to make it good. But I'm like, we could see
I
like
want more.
Finnick's
Yeah.
story, like
O'Dare,
all those
yeah.
Victor stories.
Yeah.
Is another movie.
What
Yeah.
do you think, Rainie?
Oh my gosh, pleasure all the way.
Yeah.
Literally, I loved it. Since I didn't read the book, I was fully surprised at every twist and turn. And I thought it was really well acted, really well directed. And I thought it was so interesting and engaging. And like, I've been thinking about it a lot since because there are so many themes and so many like up for interpretations
Yeah.
that you can sort of delve in the mind's eye.
Oh, I bet you can go down so many fan theory TikToks.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Reddit threads.
It is, the well is deep.
Well, welcome back this year. We got a fun lineup for you. Stay
Yeah, you did.
tuned. I'm sure we'll be posting all about it. Hey, go follow Guilty Pleasures on TikTok. Why not? Rainie, where can the people find you?
Oh, thank you so much. It's Raining Toll on Instagram and Rainie Toll on TikTok.
Okay, until next week, I'm Zach Kornfeld on all the things. I'm Kelsey Darragh on all the things.
I'm Garrick Bernard and all the things.
And until next time.